What's up, world? This is Alexander Playtime Woods of PlayTimeCares.com giving you Smack Talk. You know who I'm with. I don't even need to introduce him. You know, this is my partner in crime, Mr. Fair. But Mr. Fair, you go ahead and let the people.
All right, representing Chicago, Chi-Town, baby. By right now located in the Twin Cities, but always repping the Chi.
Hey, just completely off topic. You know,
Yeah.
the fat man. You know, always got to bring up food. Giordano's, I had to stop over there. I'm loving that deep dish.
You know, they got one now in Minneapolis. I haven't been there yet, but it's in Uptown, which is a tight area, whereas no parking. A bunch of yuppies live there. You know, folks that like to wear tight clothes and pants too short. You can see the socks, dark rim glasses. You know.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm just gonna say that when everybody says Chicago style pizza here in Houston, I'm always disappointed now that I went to Giordano's.
Yeah.
It messed me up. So hopefully whoever's running that restaurant in Minneapolis, that they actually ate their bootios and the cereal is actually good. Bootios. Make sure that you ate booty.
Here we go.
New Day rocks, baby. New Day rocks. But hey, we're on here. We're talking about WrestleMania 32, the one that took place in my state, my current state of Texas, over there in an area that I don't like, Dallas, just because of the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Who Dat all day. You know, I'm from New Orleans. You know how I am. So, you know, I have a good rivalry going with the here in Houston. And, you know, I'm even a partial Texans fan. Anything but
anything other than the Cowboys.
But them. So, hey, let's talk about WrestleMania. You had your first match. It was part of the warm-up session. It was Ryback versus Kalisto for the U.S. title. First of all, I have to go on record and say that match didn't even make sense. The writers just throwing matches together this last month that didn't even have any build-up or anything. It makes sense.
I didn't watch the match.
Okay.
I'm just if the match matters, why put it on the pregame? I mean, put it on the actual card. You know, so I didn't watch it. I didn't realize that the pre-show was coming on as early as it did. I truthfully had no interest in it. I don't mind Kalisto holding that title. Ryback has kind of played out to me. He needs a new angle.
Well, they buried Ryback from the beginning. I mean, he was undefeated, and then he fights Cena. They cheat him. Then the next
he
thing
was hot. He was hot then, but he did something. Something happened. He kind of admitted it in the interview. Like I think he started feeling himself, and I don't know. They humbled him and then dropped him, and he had to, start back all over again. Which I did. I actually liked him and Curtis Axel together. I liked Ryback. But
well, hey, it is what it is. Well, I tell you like this. The match wasn't actually believable. Ryback would destroy Kalisto, but I like that they allowed Kalisto to semi-cheat to beat Ryback. Kalisto took off the middle turnbuckle, then did a kind of like a drop toe hold move on him.
Okay.
And Ryback hit his head on a exposed turnbuckle, and while he was stunned, he got the 3 count. So that was okay to me.
But here's what though, you say it's not believable he would kill him, but I mean, think about it. We've had Rey Mysterio beat Big Show. We've had Shawn Michaels beat Vader. I mean, so they allow the underdog. Eddie Guerrero beat Brock. So I don't mind that when it happens once, maybe twice. But if you consistently let the little man beat the big mastodon, that's not believable.
Like I say on PlayTimeCares.com, every time I do a wrestling recap, they need to bring a cruiserweight division in. It was what held down the WCW for all of those times. That's why they had such strong ratings against the WWE and Raw. Bring the cruiserweight division and let those cats shine. I mean, even AJ Styles is even kind of undersized. You look at him in comparison to Y2J. Y2J is way bigger than him. But that's just me.
I agree. I saw something say Triple H is going to do a cruiserweight invitational type deal, have folks come from all over, but he's not going to reinstate the belt. right away. So we'll
I
see.
hear that's for NXT. If he does that for NXT, NXT is gonna start being a way better product than Raw and SmackDown. I'm set. I'll be first to admit that I just started watching NXT, and I'm already seeing why people are kind of addicted to it.
Hey,
So,
far as what you got to say about the cruiserweight title, I agree with you. And then where's my boys Kai and Ty? Indeed.
oh yes. All right. Okay, you got the second match that was on the pre-show. You had what was that? It was Team Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde, which Team Divas was, Nikki Bella, Alicia
Hater. I hate
Fox.
the Bellas, period.
Yo,
Overhyped.
they are the worst in a
They are the worst. They ride the jocks of the men that they date, waste of time, keep them out the ring. And the ones that can actually wrestle don't get pushed. Alicia Fox can wrestle, does not get pushed.
She looked real good.
Naomi was making some strides. For
real
whatever
good
reason, she got buried. Tamina looked
They
immobile.
They never let her go.
She was.
They always put her like this in the match.
Yeah, she had at one point when she was like AJ Lee's bodyguard or something. They almost had her like she was looking at the title for herself, and then I think she hurt her leg. And tonight when I watched her, she didn't like she could move as well. So I don't know what's up with that. But let's not talk too much on that match because that wasn't worth my time.
Okay, well we're definitely.
I put it on because my daughter is she likes to do gymnastics. She's spunky, she's feisty, and she likes to watch the women wrestle. So I put it on for her to watch. And the team she wanted to win won. So good for her.
Great segue into what I was going to say.
What's that?
It is important to actually allow young females to see decent wrestling from females. We don't need TNA.
Yeah.
That's okay. As a guy, I don't mind seeing it, but they need to have some substance with it.
Well,
I'm glad they got rid of the Divas title, and now Lita instated a women's championship title that pretty much mirrors the men's title.
Yeah.
So that was good. And just for the record, Team Bad and Blind did lose the match.
Yeah.
Team Divas did win it.
My thing with TNA and wrestling, I said this even back in the Attitude Era. We watch wrestling for wrestling. If you want bra and panties, you know where to go for that. So I don't need that in wrestling. I don't need a gravy match or mud match. I don't watch WWE for that. I watch for wrestling. So anyway.
Hey, Trish and Lita proved that you put quality in the ring.
Them women wrestled. Jacqueline wrestled. Ivory. They wrestled. Luna Vachon, Sensational Sherry, Medusa, they wrestled. So
they definitely did. Third match, you had the Usos versus Team 3D, the Dudley Boys.
Nope, they're the Dudley Boys now. They're out of TNA, so they're not Team 3D anymore.
Hey, I like all their names. I'm a big fan of the Dudley Boys. Yes, they are dated. Some of their stuff is still utilized from what was that? What was that? That was a many
Budweiser commercial.
Right. It was many Super Bowls ago. Many Super Bowls ago. But I love those guys. They didn't really do a good job of pushing that whole rivalry type thing either.
The Dudleys turned heel on them, and so then that created the match. Here, what's lacking really is build up to matches. You don't have rivalries. So you don't give the fans like something that they really want to tune into because you haven't built up the story to make me really care about it.
Right. So, hey, long story short, the Usos actually did win that match. The Dudleys got upset and decided to get the tables. The crowd went nuts. Unfortunately, they did not allow the Dudleys to put the Usos through the table. It was the exact opposite. They laid the Dudleys on the tables, and they both did
double splashed them.
Yeah, double splashed them through the table. So that is how that match ended.
Hey, I want to give the Usos props. I've been watching their splashes, and they actually hit a pretty good splash, in my opinion, from watching wrestling for many years. Fatu, who later became Rikishi, when he was with the Head Shrinkers or the Small SWAT team, gave one of the best splashes I've seen from the top rope, and his boys are doing him justice.
Yeah, hey, I like the Usos. They should not have won Tag Team of the Year because they would. Well, one was always injured. One or the other was always injured.
Yeah.
That goes to the New Day. The New Day held down the tag team division, but hey, it is what it is. Obviously, they're a crowd favorite. It is what it is. Okay, so that was the last of the pre-matches, the warm-up matches. Your first match was actually the Intercontinental Championship match. That was what was that, like a 6-7 person match?
Yeah, ladder match.
Ladder match. I would have to say that they started off really, really strong. Not sure if they had to do that because when NXT take over Dallas, they started off with the AA, the American Alpha versus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they started off that tag team match.
That was a good tag team.
It was a great match.
Don't Alpha, whatever, America Alpha, don't they remind you of Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas?
Yes, they certainly do. The bigger guy looks like a light-skinned Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And athletic, just
really,
like
the smaller guy, actually, his facial expressions are actually reminiscent of Bret Hart, if you look at it.
I got to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the guys, but I like the guys they wrestle too. They kind of
they were good too. They were good too. Yeah. So, but let's get back to this ladder match though. I watch Raw spotty. I'm not gonna lie because it doesn't hold my interest like it used to. So I saw the build up with Sami Zayn. Okay, Kevin Owens hurt him. Blah blah blah. I saw The Miz. I saw what's your boy name that imitates Shawn Michaels? Dolph. Dolph need an identity, Ziggler.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So, but then I didn't see how Sin Cara and Broski and Gold Stardust, how did they get into the mix?
Okay. I would say this. I believe Neville was actually supposed to be part of that ladder match. But Neville got injured a couple of weeks ago. So I believe that's the reason why Zack Ryder actually was put in there. That's my personal belief.
But here's my thing, going back to building up. Zack Ryder came out the clear blue sky. When have we last seen him on Raw perform? Wasn't he on NXT, a part of a tag team or something?
Yes, he's part of the Hype Bros. He keep pushing
or is
people
he on
over.
SmackDown?
He was on either SmackDown or Raw maybe 2-3 weeks ago and got beat up rather thoroughly. So hey, I go on record and say I like Zack Ryder. I don't mind him winning it.
I don't mind him either.
Oh, spoiler alert.
I don't mind him, but my thing is introduce him to us and let him build himself up so you can say, okay, he's had some matches and he's worthy of winning the title. But whatever.
Well, I mean, a lot of that was they did kind of sort of build it up, but it was because Kevin Owens decided that he was going to, instead of wrestling like Dolph Ziggler and the higher ranking guys out of the 6, he put in Stardust and the other ones, Sin Cara and all them. He put those in their place. Stephanie is a punishment.
Oh,
wrestle all 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that was kind of how that worked with them.
Okay.
But like
I can get with it then.
It was a good match. Definitely was a good match.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of hard to have a bad ladder match. Unless it's like Big Show, Kane, and Finley and folks like that. But even as long as somebody if somebody is willing to crash and burn, you
right,
have a good ladder match.
Big Show jumping into a ladder and that thing folding up. Oh man, the crowd would go nuts. I would love to see the Big Show do that.
Yeah.
But that was a good match, like you said.
But that also, did you have Zack Ryder winning? I think that was a surprising victory.
That was the one that everybody was pulling for. I pulled for Zack Ryder for that one from the beginning. Either that or Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is a great personality. He's a great heel. He just is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the fans was rooting for Sami Zayn, though.
Yes, and I don't like Sami Zayn. He's too vanilla. Just entirely too vanilla. I have not seen anything outside of this last match where he actually was mimicking the hard, what they call that, the hard style or whatever that is.
Yeah.
That makes Sami Zayn look like a really credible wrestler. Otherwise, he just seemed very blueprintish. Okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. I mean, he reminded me of a skinny John Cena.
Oh, no. Don't insult him like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You, Sami Zayn, you're not that bad. You actually do have wrestling ability. It's just that I don't see flair with the actual ability.
This was him in Ring of Honor and other promotions before he became Sami Zayn in the WWE. So him and Kevin Owens, who's Kevin Steen, they go back to Ring of Honor, and I've seen him there a couple times. Sami Zayn can go. I just think he just got to create his identity. But right now, to me, he's like the beloved fan favorite. He's what they want their other top good guy to be as far as fanfare is concerned.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right.
Next match, you had Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles. The breakup of Y2AJ, you know.
Yeah.
This match, I would have to say, probably disappointed me the most.
I agree.
And only because I know how great Y2J is, Chris Jericho, how great of a performer he is. I know how great of a performer AJ Styles is. You know, I don't know what WWE doesn't like to say the words TNA, but I mean Impact TNA. I used to watch AJ Styles in those things when he went and did his little stint over there in that Japanese thing. I would catch it just flipping through the channels every now and then and see his match. The boy can go.
Oh, AJ is legit. I started watching AJ in TNA. He had a faction with Christian and Tomko for a minute. He had something by himself. He did some programs with Kurt Angle, with Jeff Jarrett. AJ can go. I kind of
got Christopher Daniels.
Excellent
matches. Christopher Daniels.
Yep. I tweeted that AJ's first program in WWE should be with Jericho, and when I saw him debut at Royal Rumble, and they had some good matches leading up to this, but this was a big letdown.
Yes, it was.
AJ blocked some spots. He looked winded to me, and I don't know if he was, if he got gassed or if the hype of WrestleMania got to him or whatever the case. But it was a disappointment. They had the opportunity of being a match, the match that stole a show, but it didn't happen.
Match of the year possibilities.
Could have. I think WWE missed out with some of these matches by not having stipulations or having some type of other element. I think AJ and Jericho should have been like a 2 out of 3 match since they've had this series. They should have did like a best 2 out of 3 or half hour Iron Man type match or something just to give it another stipulation other than just the one fall. And then I think probably if it was a 2 out of 3, then I think AJ probably could have did a better performance. But yeah, I'll have to agree with you of disappointment match of this year's WrestleMania.
Oh, hey, just to let people know that Chris Jericho did win that one. The finisher was pretty cool. AJ Styles went for the phenomenal elbow over that top rope, that little smash thingy. Chris Jericho caught it and turned it into a cold breaker midair.
That didn't hit clean.
That's pretty good.
It didn't hit clean, but AJ sold it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next match was the New Day versus the League of Nations. And New Day came out of a 20-foot Booty-O's box, and they were dressed like Dragon Ball Z characters. more like when Vegeta first hit the planet Earth with Nappa, and yeah. Well, I'm not gonna get into Dragon Ball Z, but it was just like Dragon Ball Z characters. So that was pretty cool. They took on the League of Nations. That match could have been better. Actually,
Oh, I'm surprised to hear you say that.
it could have been better.
Mm.
But the New Day actually did do some decent stuff. The League of Nations did do some decent
Yeah,
stuff.
but here's another.
Or injured or something, and they wasn't willing to give 100% commitment
Yeah,
to fighting.
probably partying too much the night before, and Hall of Fame is long. I don't know, but people did look winded and tired and injured or something. But here's another missed opportunity, in my opinion, as I talked about with stipulations and things of that nature. Why wasn't the titles on the line? I mean, you got the tag team champions performing at WrestleMania, and the belts are not on the line. That's
No,
ridiculous.
how are you doing that, WWE writers? That's
That's
one of those WWE ooh-wee moments.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you thinking?
I mean, if you wanted a triple threat, I mean, you wanted a 6-man match. I don't know. I mean, the champs. I don't know. I think that was a missed opportunity. You could have did the match for the belts, and then after that, when you brought the legends in or whatever, you could have had your 8 man or whatever. But the belts should have been on the line.
Well, there you go. He just kind of did a spoiler on it.
Oh.
The League of Nations beat the New Day because New Day wasn't able to overcome the numbers game. King Barrett didn't wrestle in the match, but he interfered plenty of times. Yeah, hey, that bullhammer elbow. Hey,
One bullhammer, you just the bullhammer away.
Yep. Hey, they lost. They got on the mic and said no 3 men could beat their faction, and that brought out the legends. First person to come out was the showstopper, Shawn Michaels. Crowd went nuts. Second person would come out was Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley, aka Mankind.
Bang bang.
Bang bang. Crowd went freaking nuts. Then the glass shattered. Why did they do that? Stone Cold Steve Austin came, and people I thought they was about to start trying to have babies right then and there. I mean, they went nuts, and they went in the ring, and they gave a very quick, good performance. The League of Nations did a good job of selling that these guys been so well rested. Let's keep in mind they've been retired for a long time, but they've been so well rested to where they was able to whoop butt like that. And to top it off, New Day was able to get all 3 of those guys to dance with them.
And to top it off, Steve Austin stunner, which I was hoping. I'm like, please get this dude a stunner. Gave Xavier Woods a good old-fashioned stunner.
Yes, you got to love Steve Austin, Stone Cold, the Rattlesnake, for still being venomous.
DTA.
Old age. So that was actually, overall, that was a good segment. I wish they would have concentrated more on the actual match and let Matt be as good as the overall thing was.
Mm-hmm.
So your next match was actually the street fight between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. This is one of those things where the WWE wants you to actually suspend your sensibilities and want you to believe that the small guy like this Sin Cara guy could just beat up everybody.
Not Sin Cara, Kalisto.
Kalisto, Sin Cara, they both small dudes. But yes, You're right. With Kalisto, just beat up everybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think like Paul Heyman said, if you bring a weapon in the ring, you just that's just giving access to Brock Lesnar to use the same weapon.
First of all, how do you have a street fight and there's no blood?
It's PG show, man.
I understand. Then don't call it a street fight then. Don't call it it cannot be a street fight. First of all, street fight in Texas, where you just honored the Freebirds who used to battle with the Binaries, who used to have a Freebird or a bad street match where there was blood every rip. Don't call it a street fight.
No
I'm
holds
used
barred
to,
and no DQ.
yeah. But anyways, I mean, they made best of PG family era. Brock had some kendo stick lashings to his back. At first, I was like, they should have just called this a cane match because that's all they were using were the kendo stick at first. Then they used some chairs. The stupid chainsaw came out, which was idiotic.
It didn't start.
It was dumb. It was dumb. Me and some guys from England and elsewhere were tweeting about the chainsaw from Terry Funk versus a branding iron. A branding iron would have been much better, which was his.
Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Texas, and it was Funk's trademark. It's actually practical. You can hit them with it, whatever. But okay, just am I the only one that think Ambrose is a little corny? I mean, all of that's bouncing off the rope and coming. I mean, it's so predictable and so weak to me. He's like a poor man Rowdy Piper. You know what Piper used to do, the poke to the eyes and winding up punch. That's all. Ambrose is a buffoon to me. I do not take him seriously as a wrestler.
But he actually can wrestle, and I see he has tons of personality. So I see why people gravitate towards him. But his stuff is starting to get very predictable.
Very predictable. When he bounce off the rope and then come back, I mean, for real, that is so whack. Ambrose weighs like a buck 20.
Hey, you see Brock Lesnar, that didn't really come into fact for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, just to give y'all a heads up, Brock Lesnar gave him 13 suplexes, and Brock Lesnar won that match. I'm surprised he didn't beat him up more afterwards. So, I mean that is what it is.
I'm going on record. I'm not a Dean Ambrose fan. I don't hate him like I do like John Cena, but I would be okay if Ambrose wasn't on television.
Wow, that's strong.
Yeah.
Well, the next match was the women's championship match. No more Diva.
Did you have to catch yourself? Like you almost said Diva.
No more Diva. Women's championship match. Triple threat. It was Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch versus the champion Charlotte. With Ric Flair in tow, of course.
Is Ric Flair a manager?
No. He's just kind of like a valet, man. He just come out there and just interfere.
Because we don't have managers in wrestling today.
No, we don't. Because you know what? Nobody has the mic. Like, okay, you have Paul Heyman. You see how excellent his mic skills are?
Yeah.
You don't have that anymore.
Well, because you're not allowing people to develop that. And I think some of these wrestlers could really use a manager. Managers really help folks to get over who wasn't good on the microphone. They got heat for wrestlers by cheating and things like that. I think some of these cats could use a manager. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, well, Ric Flair, he did cheat and he allowed Charlotte to win. How did that happen? The ladies, I'll go on record and say this was maybe the second, or after that ladder match, this could easily be the second best match of the night. Third, depending on what your preferences are. The ladies put on a great show. They actually wrestled, which was excellent. And, they put on a great show. I can't say that enough. It's no more that diva crap, which doesn't bode too well for the Bella Twins because they are horrible. They don't wrestle.
They are horrible.
And walk.
They don't bode well for them. And what about Summer Rae and Lana and all them waste of time anyway? They
better get their skills up because
and the redhead chick that everybody hates, I don't even know her.
I haven't seen her wrestle enough. But she wasn't that good in the match.
Yeah.
That they had that 10 diva tag match. She wasn't that good. So they better. I understand why they're getting the ladies because they look really, really good on camera. I've seen them take their photos and stuff. They look good on print, but in the ring,
I'm watching wrestling to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me say this: that women's title match was a good match. It was a few missed spots, mainly by Sasha, in my opinion. I've always been hard on Becky Lynch, but she performed. I liked the suplexes she was doing. She did some T-bones. She did. I mean, she did some nice moves. Overall, I think you like the latter match, but I think the women might have been that match that stole the show. To be honest with you, and I don't even mind the finish. I don't mind the finish. I mean, the bad guy won by cheating. I can live with that. Um,
And let's be honest, she's a Flair.
yeah,
You're not gonna make a Flair lose their first WrestleMania.
no, and in the way that Sasha performed in that match, she didn't deserve to win it. I think they're building her up to be the next champ. Um, I didn't watch NXT when she was on top there, but this match in WrestleMania was not a championship worthy match for her. She did good, but she still looked like she got some room to grow. So I think the I think the best person won in that match. I like the new belt. That butterfly was idiotic to begin with. The, the, the whole diva era was dumb. I mean, it's women wrestling. Just call it what it is. The only knock that I have with that belt, as I tweeted to you, they got that red background, and then the swoosh underneath the W for WWE is red as well, so it kind of blends together. I just think aesthetically they should have picked a different color, maybe black. Since the men's belt has black on the background, maybe use
Right.
black. The opposite, because the
Yes.
men's belt has the red swoosh with a black background. So then do a black one with the red background, something just to help that to stand out.
Agreed. And I'll go on record and say that Sasha Banks is still yet to be pinned in primetime WWE. She has been pinned in NXT, but she hasn't been pinned yet. So yeah, I think they are going to push, and I'm sure she's going to mention that again. Next match, Hell in a Cell match that really did not make sense. I've said if you go back and look a month ago when Shane McMahon came out to say he wanted control of Raw, and his dad said, "Okay, I give you what is yours, control of Raw, but you're gonna have to do something for me first." That don't make sense. I'm
Can I
like,
tell?
okay, it's already mine. Why would I gamble something that's already mine?
Yeah. Do you want to say who won or whatever? Go ahead. Go say. Give the recap.
Come on, man. That's Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker, man. And the stipulation was The Undertaker wouldn't be able to wrestle in WrestleMania again if he loses. Come on, man. I mean, he only lost one time. We already know the Taker won that.
That match was for one thing and one thing only. For Shane McMahon to jump off the top of that cage. That's all that match was about. Shane McMahon is a thrill seeker, daredevil type dude. I ain't mad at him. He probably go skydiving and that type of stuff, paragliding. He gets his rocks off by being a thrill seeker. And ultimately, truthfully, I watched that match. That match was all about him jumping off the top of that cage. So now we have another person. He will never top Mick Foley, Mankind. Never top that. That was unexpected. He got thrown from the top. He didn't willfully, jump down at someone. That will never be topped. But that match was all about Shane
doing something insane.
Yeah, that's what it was about. And Shane actually, I started to tweet Shane need the Mean Street Posse because I kind of fast forward through that match. Shane, I respected him back in the day in the Attitude Era when he was kind of active and he had some matches under his belt. He had a good program with X-Pac, one with Kurt Angle and some other people. And you could see like his ability and his skill kind of get better as he had matches. But he looked, I don't know, he looked rusty. It looked predictable. I wasn't feeling that match at all. So Shane, you got to jump off the top of a cage. Kudos.
And the crowd loved it. They paid their money to see that.
Whatever.
Okay, so the next thing was actually the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which I like the fact that they didn't have just regular people in it.
I
They
like that too.
ended up allowing what was the guy
Tonka, which my
I
only
like that.
issue there is they let DDP come out to intro music. They should let Tatanka come out to intro music too.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
I would have liked that because I looked at the ring and I'm like, well, who's the guy that has on? Oh man, I know that guy. That
yeah,
would have been cool.
yeah,
And I think they should have allowed for the NXT people to actually make their presence known as well. You had Corbin, who
yeah.
just lost his match with Austin Aries
Yeah,
in Takeover. He was actually in the Royal Rumble, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They allow him to do some extra work, just like they allowed Sami Zayn to do some extra work. I was hoping Samoa Joe would have been
I
in
think
the
it's obvious when they start letting them guys from NXT cross over, they're basically about to call them up to the main roster, and they just so Sami Zayn lost, and I think that was his last match on NXT. I think he's going to be on the main roster, and then Corbin lost also. I think he's going to be on the main roster too. But you got to talk about the surprise, the biggest surprise.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to it, building up to it. I thought that all of the people was always already in the ring since they didn't allow any intros, and all of a sudden, my boy, he played for LSU, Louisiana State University, basketball player from San Antonio, Texas. So
I'm about to
he's
say
in
he's
my
from Texas, right?
state. Yes, he's from San Antonio. Shaquille O'Neal actually came out and he was part of the battle royal. And you actually got to see how big some of those guys are and how big
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
him standing next to Kane and
Big
Big
Show.
Show, it actually made them look kind of short, was amazing to see.
Yeah,
But they allowed Shaq to be the catalyst to get rid of the Big Show.
that was
Otherwise,
cool.
I think the Big Show would have won back to back. Which I think they really should have let the Big Show win back to back. Considering that Cesaro, I was hoping he made a surprise comeback. And I was hoping that was Cesaro and Big Show. Huh?
I said, you know who I was hoping would have made a surprise entrance was Kurt Angle. You know, I'm a Kurt Angle mark. You know that. So, and he's a free
That would have
agent,
been nice.
dude. If that music would have hit, that crowd would have went bananas.
Yeah.
But so having Shaq on there was reminiscent of when the Refrigerator Perry was on, you know, the first WrestleMania when they had the Battle Royal and they had WrestleMania happen from Chicago and New York and different places. So I didn't mind Shaq. I didn't mind Shaq being in there. Dallas Page coming back. Yeah. Dallas Page coming back to Tonka. I didn't mind it. You know, Shaq probably got broke off a nice piece of change to take a couple bumps. Can't be mad.
Yeah. Can't get mad with it.
No.
But now he needs to come back more so he could go to the WWE Hall of Fame.
He probably
He needs to come back more.
He probably already in.
Otherwise, discussing when I'm putting it in. You know, people are upset about Snoop making it this year. They're saying that it's because of Sasha Banks. He's in. I'm like, he been performing with the WWE before people even knew who Sasha Banks was. I'm like, but I don't know here nor there. Surprise of the night. NXT Corbin, fresh off his loss with Austin Aries, he won the Battle Royal. He eliminated Kane. You know, he was sitting in the corner for a nice bit of time, got knocked down in that corner. Nobody really paid attention to him. Soon as Kane eliminated his people, he came and just scooped him right out.
Eliminated 2 of the social outcasts, I think.
Yep, eliminated 2 of the social outcasts. Social outcasts actually had a really good run.
They did have.
They actually were the team to beat. Good job. And I still think that Curtis Axel should be getting a push, but I'm a person that like personalities. I mean, he was with Paul Heyman. You got to like a guy like that, you know? But that's neither here nor there. Corbin actually was a surprise victory for me of the night. And then they brought The Rock out. If you smell, they brought The Rock out, and he announced that Dallas, Texas fans, the fans that assembled up in Texas, they actually broke the WrestleMania attendance record by 1,000 or so people. So everybody was
So
excited
they
about that.
are they comparing that to the Pontiac Silverdome? Is
Yes, yes, but you have to keep in mind this is a new facilities.
Yep.
It's $1 billion facilities. It's built for this type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a huge facility.
Yeah.
So keep in mind I lived in Detroit for 12 years, so I have my biases towards Detroit as well. But I got to give props when props due. Hey, Dallas, they bigger is better. So Jerry Jones
Does anybody
took
still live in
that
Detroit?
money and had them build that stadium, and then charged them to even park in the parking lot. It's like $25-$30 to park at a Cowboys game.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hey,
they raise taxes a lot.
by the way,
That should be legal.
does anybody still live in Detroit?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
I actually wanted to go back and buy, like, they have thousands of houses for like $1,000. I wanted to buy a whole city block. Just buy a block. Like, oh man, I got a block back in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That's my winter cottage.
Let me sidebar real quick. So me and my 8-year-old was playing 2K16, and for whatever reason, he's on a kick playing with the old school teams, which I love that feature on 2K. You can play with like Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing, Larry Bird, whatever. So he picked the old school Bulls, which is my team, but following Dad's footsteps. And I'm scrolling past and I see the Pistons team with Isaiah and Dumars and Lambeer and Mahorn, and my fingers just could not push that button. That bitterness still runs deep. It runs deep.
Yeah, boy. I love it, baby.
I can't do it.
I love it. We made y'all stronger. You should thank us. We made y'all stronger. When we pushed Pippen into the thing and bust his chin open, that was the beginning. We made George stronger. You know what I'm saying? You should thank us.
Whatever.
Yeah. But
moving on.
It is what it is. The Rock, he came out there. He got interrupted by the Wyatt family. Of course, minus Luke Harper, because Luke Harper is still hurt.
And this Bray Wyatt is hurt too, right?
I'm thinking so. He is hurt. Everybody's getting injured because he's not wrestling.
I read something online that Bray was hurt because really they were building up Bray versus Brock for WrestleMania. I mean, the build-up started at Royal Rumble when they jumped him, and then the payoff was supposed to be WrestleMania, but I think Bray got hurt. But obviously he's not hurt enough to not do appearances. But if you notice, he hasn't been in the ring.
No, he hasn't.
In the last pay-per-view, he sent Luke Harper in there to wrestle, and that's because he's hurt, I believe. So, but anyway, continue.
Probably so. Well, The Rock, being The Rock, was excellent on the mic. They had a good exchange. They decided that they wanted to fight The Rock. The Rock said,
for the record, Playtime Williams is a Rock mark. He loves him some Rock.
Bro, The Rock is probably one of the best things that happened for a long time. Plus, he's the only black champ that we've had in the WWE. That's kind of important. It's just Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's the only black champion we've had in the WWE.
Technically.
No. We are not counting the belt that came from WCW. Mark Henry don't count. Booker T don't count. I want the belt that Hulk Hogan put around his waist. I want it really.
Fair enough.
Should have had that belt.
Fair enough.
So,
anyway,
only person, and who should have gotten it?
Who?
Big E. When he got that Intercontinental Championship, he was on fire. Big E was on fire when he was AJ Lee's bodyguard. I'm talking about when AJ Lee was still at.
Dude, finish your Rock montage.
Hey, keep in mind, we got the American with the ankle lock. He was horrible. He got it. I'm just saying. Okay, so The Rock, he got into some words. Bray Wyatt sent Eric Rowan to get the match with him. The Rock beat him in 6 seconds. New WWE record. So you had the attendance record, then they had the WrestleMania record for quickest match, which should have been Sheamus versus, wasn't it Sheamus beat somebody really quickly? Was it
Chavo or
Daniel?
somebody? Was it Sheamus and Chavo?
No, it wasn't Chavo. I think it was for the title. Was it Daniel Bryan and Sheamus?
Oh, no. I don't know.
One of those matches, they kept messing with it, and Big Show ended up losing quicker. And then, so not a Rock has. The Rock beat Eric Rowan in 6 seconds. And of course, that didn't sit well with the Wyatt family. So they went to jump the Rock, and then Mr. Ferris boy John Cena came and him and Rock cleaned out the ring, And I was hoping, and I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping that John Cena did a heel turn because it kept looking like he was about to bust the Rock in the back of his head, but it never happened. So
one of my desires for John Cena is to join up with Roman Reigns and call themselves the hated good guys.
Hey, why not? HGG.
Hey, they can be. You remember when Bret Hart?
Oh man, my dude, fair, you gone? Oh, there you go.
I'm back. My battery is going down. You remember when Bret Hart turned heel and some people liked him, some people hated him. So he was a good guy for those who liked him. He was a bad guy for those who hated him. They can do the same thing with Cena.
I don't want them to have another championship though. I don't want Cena to have another belt, but they would be good. I would have to admit that.
Yeah.
So hey, that's it. Last match of the night. You had Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Really cool intro for both of them. Stephanie McMahon looked like she borrowed Beyonce's Super Bowl outfit for this occasion.
Triple H had a trip.
Triple H almost, if you look, when he stepped on that green circle, when he was spitting his water, his right leg slipped from under him when he was about to go. Good recovery on him. He could have hyperextended his knee or something like that. Roman Reigns came out and he did his little and pounded into the ground. And it had a cool graphic that he pounded in the middle of the Dallas Star, the Lone Star. And, well, let me not say that, the Texas Star, because I don't like Dallas. The Texas Star, the Lone Star, it had cool graphics go from his fist. It caused, like, explosions and stuff and all pyrotechnics and stuff that happened all through the stadium and outside of the stadium. Really cool intro for Roman Reigns.
And it said Roman Empire in the inside.
Yes, it had Roman Empire on the Jumbotron, whatever that digital thing was behind him. Match-wise, this match did not have the people out of their seat much because they booed Roman Reigns every time he did something positive. And every time beating on him, they cheered.
Except when he went for probably like a second or third spear, and Beyonce was in the ring, and she took the spear. The fans actually had a reaction to that.
Yes, they got out of their seat and actually cheered for that.
Yeah.
Now the cool thing about it is that everybody saw it coming, but nobody thought that Stephanie would sell that spear as well as she did. I'm not sure if she actually got hurt for real, but she did an excellent job if she's not hurt. She sold that spear in high heels.
I sent you a tweet. Props on that spear.
Definitely props on the spear from Stephanie.
Props on the spear.
So they actually Roman Reigns got another spear on Triple H, and he ended up winning it. And they edited out the sound because people were booing in the audience. If you look, they're booing. They're not cheering. They put cheers in it. They edited out the sound. So? Yes, definitely. Definitely. They were booing in the stands. They were booing. So it's going to be an interesting Raw tomorrow because you're going to have a whole lot of people that are disgusted that Roman Reigns is the champ. So it'd be good to see what type of heat he got. I was hoping that Roman Reigns would actually be the Shane McMahon. I was hoping that the Shane McMahon Taker match was the last match of the night. And they actually Shane was about to lose, and Roman Reigns went and turned heel and attacked Taker and caused Vince McMahon and them to get kicked out, and he be Shane's number one.
Oh, that would have been nice.
I would have hoping that, but it didn't happen like that. I mean, you still got Triple H and Stephanie in power. So now we still have this authority angle that it's not really going anywhere. I mean, it's kind of been there, done that. It'll be interesting to see what you do post WrestleMania because you have a lot of people that's going to be injured tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see how many matches that they actually pull off because they usually talk a lot, the Raw after WrestleMania. So that's it for me, folks.
Yep, that's it for me too. Good summary. I like your finish though. It was better than the one that they had.
Hey, and you know what? We apologize to everybody in the Playtime Kids verse. Look, me and Mr. Fair, we'll get on here. We'll start doing this stuff more. You know, we just had various things happen in our lives. So, you know, we haven't connected as much doing it live on air. We'll start scheduling sometimes. I work a crazy schedule. It's me. It's me. It's not you. It's me. You know, so, I mean, we're going to do this more often. That way you can come in, you can ask your questions. You know, if you want to be a special guest, hook your webcam up. Get on your cell phone. Let's talk. Let's see what y'all thinking. So, hey, if you ain't got nothing else to say, Mr. Fair,
I'm good. Until next time.
Playtime out.